This is Blue Lock's Neo Egoist League arc, and I'm about to break it down so even your TikTok short attention span brains can understand it. Prepare yourself. So apparently the Blue Lock boys went from, who the hell are these nobodies, to, oh my god, they're famous, after the Blue Lock versus Japan under 20 match. After that, they get some break. Then Ego, football's most unhinged dictator, summons them back into his soccer prison camp like the budget anime Bond villain he is. He's got another genius plan, which, knowing Blue Lock, is just another excuse for psychological warfare on a bunch of teenage egomaniacs. Ego gets on his digital anime Illuminati podium and hits them with, alright, you subhuman football rejects. In 100 days, Japan has to play in the Under-20 World Cup, and if you play like you do now, you're getting steamrolled like a cockroach under Ronaldo's cleats. But don't worry, I have a galaxy brain plan to save you. Environment. Now, you'd think he'd send them to actual European clubs for real training with real coaches, right? Wrong. Instead, he lets them pick a league like it's a damn FIFA career mode menu. Here's the 5 European leagues. England, the Sprint Cross Prey League. If you can't run faster than your crippling insecurities, pack it up. Spain, the Instagram Highlights Fake Flair League. Perfect for TikTok footballers who dribble for no reason and think they're the next Messi. Italy, the Chess Match Mafia Defense League. If you have the IQ of a potato, don't even bother. France, the Money Over Everything League. No brain? No problem. Just get a rich agent and you're set. Germany, the Emotionless Robot Football League. Football here is played like a military invasion, and if you aren't built for efficiency, you'll be euthanized on sight. Ego also casually destroys their dreams by saying, if you suck as a striker, just play another position. Nobody gives a F about your ego, just survive. Translation. Some of you aren't the main character. You're freaking side quests. Accept it. Now, all these overhyped, self-obsessed football freaks pick their leagues. Chigiri, Rayo, Nagi, England, Bachira, Spain, Isagi, Germany. You'd think they're about to pack their bags and actually go train in these countries, right? Nope. Ego baits them again and says, the leagues are coming to you. Just when you think this anime can't flex any harder, Noel Noah casually walks in. So, our favorite mid-tier striker with main character delusions, Isagi, finally meets Noel Noah, aka the only reason Isagi's pathetic existence even matters. Bro folds like wet cardboard and immediately starts worshipping this man, like a 14-year-old girl meeting her favorite K-pop idol. Enter, the Master Strikers aka Football's Avengers. England. Chris Prince, a walking L'Oreal commercial who speaks exclusively in gym bro quotes. Spain. Lavinho, entire personality? I'm Brazilian, therefore I'm superior. Italy Snuffy. Yep, that's his actual freaking name. Moving on. France. Loki. 17 years old, richer than your entire bloodline, and casually built different. Oh, and Rin and Shido joined his team because they have the emotional maturity of 5-year-olds and can't function without constantly trying to one-up each other. Meanwhile, Ego pops up and reveals Phase 2 of Blue Lock. 1. Get slaughtered by football gods or duck off back to your high school team. 2. Fight for a spot on their teams because nothing is guaranteed except misery. 3. Games are now pure chaos. No time limits, first to 3 goals, unlimited subs, because traditional football is for peasants. 4. Master Strikers only play for 3 minutes per game, because why flex for 90 minutes when you can ruin someone's entire career in 180 seconds? But wait, plot twist. Just as the Blue Lock boys start crying over how hard this is, Ego drops a mystery player out of nowhere to the German team. Enter Kunigami. This dude got yeeted out of Blue Lock, went through a Dark Souls difficulty training arc in the Shadow Realm, and returned looking like he eats broken glass for breakfast. German football hazing. German's training regimen is simple as duck. No drills, just suffering. Everyone is getting violated, except Kunigami, who casually tanks it all while the others are dying in the background. Just when Isagi starts feeling like he belongs, this random blonde bastard named Kaiser walks in, snatches his shot straight out of existence, and makes it clear that Germany does not give a single F about his dreams. His first words? Know your place, loser. And Isagi? Looking like someone just drop-kicked his self-esteem off a bridge. Kaiser isn't just some random German guy who stumbled into the anime. Nah, this dude is part of the new generation World 11. You know, the football prodigies who are so good at the sport that FIFA probably banned their existence? And he's a striker, meaning he's here to make every other forward question their life choices. Kaiser is here for one reason only: destroying Isagi. Why? Because Isagi got some screen time in the last arc, and Kaiser isn't about to let some talentless plot-armored intern steal his spotlight. Next, we meet Ness. Ness is more devoted to Kaiser than you've ever been to anything in your entire miserable life. If Kaiser punched his mom in the face, Ness would apologize for not getting out of the way. Just when Kaiser is about to establish full dictator status, Noel walks in. And in 2 seconds, he shuts Kaiser down like your pathetic attempts at self-improvement. No emotions, no sugarcoating, just straight up adapt or die. Cry about it, get stronger, loser. And Isagi? Oh boy. He checks the rankings and guess what? He's dead last. Meanwhile, Kunigami, who did a side quest to become Batman, is already in 3rd place. Desperate, Isagi runs to Noah like a freshman asking a professor for extra credit. Does Noah give him a strategy? Nope. He gives him a midlife crisis instead. Noah, what is your ideal self? Isagi. Huh? Noah, can your ideal self beat the #1 striker? Isagi. Noah. Then why the duck are you even here? Translation. Figure out what the hell kind of striker you want to be. Train specifically for that. If you can't even answer that, pack your bags and go home. And Isagi? Brain melted. Because for the first time ever, he realizes that his entire career plan was, I just want to be the best, with 0 actual strategy. Realizing he's 1 game away from getting sent back to Sunday League, Isagi does what he does best. Try hard his way to competence. He grinds. He suffers. He improves. But here's the problem. He's still trash compared to everyone else. He doesn't even make the top 11. Meaning, he's benched. And who is their next opponent? FC Barcha. And guess who's a starter on that team? Bachira. Remember Bachira? He's a whole different beast now. Dude isn't just starting at FC Barcha, he's one of their star players. Meaning, while Isagi is still trying to figure out how to exist, Bachira is out here living his best life. The match starts, and Kunigami gets the ball. Does he pass to Kaiser, the one guy with actual talent? Nope. Captain Steroid decides to solo it because apparently roid rage equals football IQ now. He blasts a shot like he's auditioning for the Fast and Furious franchise, and of course, it gets stopped. Because life isn't a fantasy. Cut to FC Barcha 10 days prior. Lavinho, looking like a Brazilian influencer with ADHD, tells his team, I won't teach you sheet, just imagine being better. And this actually works. Bachira starts hallucinating butterflies like he's dropped a full tab of LSD in the middle of the pitch. And somehow that gives him anime aimbot. Man dribbles through Kunigami like he's made of wet tissue and scores. Then comes Kaiser. Ness, his beta sidekick, feeds him a pass, and Kaiser scores with the elegance of a middle finger dipped in gold. Isagi watches, mentally imploding. Suddenly, the Master Strikers enter mid-match like some football battle pass unlocked itself. Noah substitutes himself in and tells Isagi, you're playing now. Isagi looks like he just got asked to land a plane. Meanwhile, Lavinho is out here doing ducking breakdance and scores. Noah retaliates by violating the field, dashing through the lineup, and bouncing off Lavinho's spine before scoring with his left foot. Yeah, he's ambidextrous. He can destroy your dreams using either leg. Finally, Isagi, our bargain bin protagonist, tries to outshine Kaiser by going rogue. Steals the ball, misses, because of course he does. Then he steals it again, passes to Kunigami, and boom, goal. Bastard München wins 3-2. Not from skill, not from teamwork. From trauma, ego, and the desperate energy of people trying not to go home. After the game, Mr. Megamind, Ego floats in, surrounded by more screens than your average Cornhub tab collection. He tells the Blue Lock boys, this is the Neo Egoist League. You don't play to win, you play to get paid. Translation, if you're not useful, you're useless. You're not fighting for glory, you're fighting to not be a broke joke. Ego casually drops the salary leaderboard like it's a WWE promo. Isagi, 17 million yen, for looking confused but thinking real hard. Kunigami, 24 million, for yelling louder than his impact. Bachira, 32 million, for dribbling like he's chasing imaginary butterflies on LSD. Ness, 50 million, for being Kaiser's personal simp puppet. Kaiser, 300 million, because he kicks goals and self-worth straight out of the stadium. Now we find out the whole league is being streamed worldwide, because what's better than football? Child labor with marketing potential. You think this is about team spirit? No, Karen. This is about stock value. These kids are treated like Pokemon cards that scream about ego and dead dads. If you're not valuable, you get dropped faster than your OnlyFans subscription after no titty reveal. Then we see PXG versus Ubers, and the rage-fueled hormones win again with 3-2 because rage beats tactics every time. Rin is now valued 36 million yen. Meanwhile, in Manshine City team, Chris Prince enters. Think gym bro meets motivational speaker meets narcissist with a god complex. He looks at Chigiri and goes, you survived on talent. That's not skill. That's a damn curse. He tells Chigiri to stop lifting like an idiot and start training to elevate his strengths even more. Prince's message. Strength without intelligence is masturbation with muscles. So, Nagi, the lazy prodigy who's been speedrunning mediocrity, touched a weight. Yeah, the same guy who's been treating football like it's Wii Sports, finally did a rep. Their team is playing against Bastard München next. Isagi opens this match like he's about to take the SATs mid-game. Man's analyzing Kaiser like he's trying to decipher the duking Da Vinci Code. Steals the ball like your girlfriend's attention span at the sight of a real man. But then Ryo, now jacked like his trauma finally hit the gym, says, "Give me that back, nerd," and slaps the ball away like Isagi's hopes and dreams. Then Ryo does a move so cracked, it's like he drank Rinatoshi's bathwater and downloaded all his skills via USB-C. Shoots. Gagamaru, who plays goalkeeper like a possessed yoga instructor, saves it. Dude moves like a haunted scarecrow with ADHD. Reflexes better than your excuses. Flashbacks. Chris Prince asks our trauma babies, "What kind of striker do you want to be?" Ryo says, "I want to be like Itoshi Bros." And Chigiri's like, "I want to score on my own." Flash forward, Chigiri becomes a red blur with better acceleration than your Uber driver on crack. Shoots from 44 degrees, 19 meters out. And it goes in. Then, Isagi realizes Kaiser isn't watching the ball, but watching everyone. He watches Kaiser soloing the entire opponent team like he's playing against toddlers. Shoots a goal that should be illegal in 12 countries. Thus he discovers metavision, which is watching every player in the field, predicting their movements. Isagi tries to cosplay that too. Charges in, shoots. But wait. Kunigami, the world's angriest carrot, steals his assist like your classmate who did no work but still took credit. What a guy. Nagi Ryo, bromance. Nagi finally realizes he has feelings. "I only like football when I'm with you." Ryo, who's been abandoned more times than your New Year's resolutions, cries, "You left me for a better arc." They trauma bond, spiritually merge, and suddenly, Ryo downloads metavision like it's a ducking iOS update. Nagi traps the ball like he's solving quantum physics. Spins, jukes, ankle breaks two main characters in one move, and scores an unreal goal, thus fulfilling his dream of beating Isagi. After that, Chris finally enters the match because watching teenagers outperform him triggered his protein shakes. Pulls out a knuckleball from literal hell. Isagi with Gagamaru blocks it. Yes, blocks a shot from the world's number 2. Yukimiya snatches the ball like he's stealing plot relevance from Isagi. Says, "Duck your screen time. I got glaucoma and I'm scoring today." Shoots, and Chris saves it again. Damn, imagine doing your anime monologue and still getting blocked. Tragic. So Isagi, our walking football calculator, tells Yukimiya, "Help me score." And Yukimiya, being a main character in his own head, says, "Nah bro, I'm him." Isagi's like, "Wait a minute. Is this what being selfish feels like? Am I the toxic one?" Ding. New skill unlocked. Egocentrism. Because nothing screams character development like realizing you're also a narcissist. Backstory time. Turns out Yukimiya got optic neuropathy, which is fancy doctor speak for, "Your screen time is almost up, kid." Doctors say, "You'll go blind soon." And he's like, "Okay, but football?" Doctor, "You got 10 minutes of plot relevance left. Go make it count." Back in present, Isagi goes full football Sherlock Holmes. He's got metavision, ego-boosted ego, and Noah, the world's sexiest football coach, whispering tactics in his ear like some anime ASMR. Isagi predicts every move on the field, but just when he's about to go Super Saiyan and score the game-winning goal, Kaiser, "Allow me to ruin everything." So Isagi's like, "Oh, you thought I wanted to score? Plot twist, my actual goal is to destroy your career." And he passes the ball to Mr. I can't see but I can shoot, Yukimiya. Boom, goal. Bastard München wins. Kaiser, dethroned. Isagi, smug. After getting body-bagged by a guy whose superpower is thinking hard, Kaiser says, "Fine, you're worthy." Then Isagi drops the secret to Noel. He's unlocked metavision. This man is predicting plays like he's time-traveling mid-dribble, and then Coach Noah casually reveals Ego used to be his rival. Yeah, Ego. Let that sink in. You can't even rival your own laziness, and this bowl-cut bastard used to spar with gods. We hit the auction stage. Here's the lineup. Corona 24 mil, Gagamaru 28 mil, Yukimiya 29 mil, Chigiri 30 mil, Ryo 40 mil, Kunigami 47 mil, and then Isagi, captain. No goals since birth, gets 50 million. You haven't accomplished anything since you learned to walk, and this guy just blinked hard and got paid. And then, King Baru 100 million. This man hisses trash like it's a mating call, and still got a bigger bag than your dreams ever will. Now, Hiyori's passed. Hiyori's life is basically anime kid built in a lab. His parents created him like a football Frankenstein. They didn't even want a child, they wanted an athletic stock option. You think your parents were bad because they didn't clap at your third grade play? His folks married just to breed a passing machine. Hiyori doesn't want to be here. He just wants silence, peace, and a life where nobody tracks his sprint speed at dinner. Now it's finally time for Isagi versus Baru, the showdown of logic versus lunacy. Yoichi finally gets to play in this match. But hey, he gets to play defense. Noah says, whoever breaks through Uber's defense will be king. Forget teamwork. This is Squid Game with cleats. From the start of the match, Isagi's metavision activates like he's tripping on football LSD. He's seeing into the future, predicting moves and solving chess puzzles before breakfast. Kaiser comes in, tries his precious Kaiser impact. But then, Lorenzo. He steps in and murders Kaiser's ego. Solo. No effort, no emotion. Just raw disrespect wrapped in Gucci. Lorenzo only cares about net worth. He doesn't call people by names. He checks their valuation. Then Uber starts their counterattack. Their passing game is tighter than your auntie's WhatsApp conspiracies. Then Baru, the Lion King of Blue Lock, comes in like Simba. But Isagi steals the ball with surgical savagery. Baru looks like someone stole his throne, his crown, and his OnlyFans subscription in one move. Isagi, I am him, you are not. He fuses with Corona mid-game like they're doing some shonen bromance ritual. Then bam! Shoots with his left foot. That's right, he's ambidextrous when the plot demands it. And when the play starts again, Baru passes. I repeat, Baru passes. Every blue locker is like, bro, did we enter the multiverse? This man, once allergic to assists, starts playing like Jesus. Ubers pull off a passing sequence so slick, Gagamaru literally buffers IRL. Eyes wide, soul missing, brain saying reconnecting, then goal. Baru slams it in and the stadium explodes harder than your excuses for failure. Tragic flashback time. Snuffy's best friend egoed so hard he died from it. Like actual death? Because in this world, failure doesn't mean rejection. It means a ducking funeral. Snuffy tells that story to make Baru a team player. Baru hears this and says, cool story, not me though. Imagine being so confident you hear your mentor's trauma and just level up out of disrespect. Lorenzo appears, flexes his redemption arc and says, Snuffy saved me, fam. Baru finally accepts the deal. Back in the game, Isagi outplays Baru, gets the ball, thinks, maybe I'll win this. But nope. He's forced to pass to the human migraine. Kaiser. Kaiser scores with a nutmeg that humbles physics. But he's pissed. Because he got help. That's right. This dude is so toxic, he'd rather lose solo than win with peasant cooperation. Then Snuffy jumps in and starts doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu with football. Isagi sends Yoichi in like a sacrificial meat shield. Take this L for me, bro. Dude latches onto Snuffy like a virgin discovering OnlyFans. But Ubers pass around him like he's you trying to be useful in a group project. Baru, our football edgelord, tries to shoot. Blocked. Shoots again? Blocked. 4 goddamn times like a toddler trying to open a locked iPad. And every time Isagi says, sit the hell down, then Baru throws a tantrum like an incel who just got ghosted by his Discord kitten. Screams at Snuffy like, you said if I played your way, I'd be the best striker, but I've been raw-dogged by reality 4 times. Baru then rejects his own team like he's too cool for success. He wants to win alone. Then this man nutmegs both Isagi and Kaiser. Snuffy sees it and unretires like your dad coming back after you win the lottery. After this, Isagi says, bring in Hiyori. Noah says, nah, let's bring in benchwarmer number 3. But Hiyori hits him with so much anime confidence, Noah gets emotionally blackmailed and lets him play. With a catch. If you lose, you're benched. Then Kaiser, the human version of a hair commercial, pulls the old Kaiser impact because that's all he knows. And then, Lorenzo blocks it with his face. No fear, no flinch. Dude tanked a soccer blast that would rip your TikTok-addicted skull in half. Hiyori, aka Discount Mob Psycho, finds his ego buried under years of emotional neglect and bad side characters. He shuts down Baru like a power outage in a third world country, passes without even looking, and Isagi reads it like he's playing football on clairvoyant steroids. Goal, match 1. Isagi, 2 goals. Kaiser, 1 ego breakdown. Baru, 1 TED Talk pending. Hiyori, 1 soul rediscovered. After this, we get glimpses of the PXG versus Manshine City match, where all 3 goals were scored by Rin, and 1 goal, which was Manshine City's, was scored by Chigiri. Nagi's, on the other hand, is like, duck all these. I want to figure out, why is everyone trying so hard? Player values updated. Baru, 130 mil. Isagi, 150 mil. Rin, 180 mil. Kaiser, 320 mil. And yet Kaiser looks like he just watched his mom follow Isagi on Instagram. On the next match, Ubers are stomping Manshine into a PowerPoint presentation. And then Baru, our ego god and emotional dominatrix, dunks on him. You used to be him. Now you're a loading screen. Translation, you're about as threatening as a wet tissue with daddy issues. Then we see Nagi and Ryo decide to be cool again. On the other side, Kaiser trains. Yes, the man whose warm-up routine is just deep conditioning his hair and emotionally abusing Ness is training. Speaking of Ness, this man's backstory is so painfully cringe. It's something like this. I believed in magic. My parents didn't, so I chose football. Bro, this ain't Hogwarts, it's cleats and trauma. Kaiser shows up like Wish.com Gandalf and goes, "Do you believe in the impossible, child?" And boom, we get Wizard of Wines, aka emotional support Ness, who now exists solely to cry when Kaiser gets ignored. The final setup, Manshine versus Barcha, and Bastard München versus PXG. This is Isagi versus Rin, and both have never lost. First, Ego shows up and tells these future therapy patients that originality wins games. Then comes kickoff. PXG drops the death combo. Rin and Shidu, two psychopaths fueled by unresolved trauma and pre-workout. They're assisted by Charles, a 15-year-old French prodigy. Meanwhile, Kaiser tries to flex with a Kaiser impact, but Rin blocks it, and Shidu scores with a flying headbutt that looked less like a goal and more like domestic violence against the laws of physics. After this, Loki says, "I only joined to awaken Charles." Why is the series full of adults grooming children into football gods? I feel like I need an FBI warning before every chapter. Meanwhile, Isagi's doing mental gymnastics that would make Einstein sweat. He's got this ego theory. Self-type egoists. I'm the main character. World-type egoists. I want attention and retweets. Translation. One group is TikTok edits, the other is YouTube clickbait. And then there's Kunigami, aka Angry McProtein. He bulldozes Shidu like he's trying to avenge his anime screen time. Using that advantage, Isagi claps back with a fake out. Shoots right, scores, ego boost unlocked. Rin and Kaiser look like someone just told them they're not the protagonist anymore. Then comes Kaiser's trauma reveal. Mom, abandoned. Dad, bootleg Jack Sparrow with a drinking problem. Friends, framed him for robbing a bank. Kaiser, and that's why I play football. Kaiser fires up Kaiser Impact, his signature ego projectile, only to land face first into the turf like a drunk uncle at a wedding. And here comes Isagi walking over with main character energy like, "Get off my pitch, princess." Kaiser, instant existential meltdown, reevaluates his whole life, decides I don't need pride, I need trauma. Then we see Jin. This guy's existence is a literal coin flip, 50/50th survival rate at birth, and still plays soccer like he's flipping heads for God's approval. He gets the ball and has to pick between Kaiser or Isagi. He picks Kaiser because obviously if you're gonna feed someone the ball, feed the guy who curves it like physics was a rumor. Kaiser Impact. Delusional overdrive. This shot curves harder than you dodging accountability. The stadium blacks out. Ness ugly cries like he just got friend-zoned by his therapist. Kaiser looks him dead in the eye and says, "I need someone who traumatizes me more. We're done." Toxic? Yes. Effective? Also yes. Because in Blue Lock, the only stat that matters is how mentally unstable you are while scoring. Rin sees all this and goes, "Oh, character growth? Bet." So he hijacks the ball, nukes the cast, and suddenly starts hallucinating his deadbeat older brother, telling him he's still human garbage. Then the plot twist Isagi breaks the illusion, crushes with Rin. But Rin curves the ball like he's bending trauma into art, and scores the pettiest goal known to mankind. Isagi just stands there blinking in Morse code, wondering if he's the villain in his own anime. He just got outplayed by a dude hallucinating mid-psychotic break. Enter the gods, Loki and Noah, aka peak human evolution, and football's final form. Loki activates Speed Demon mode, leaves Isagi standing there like a divorced dad watching his family drive off. Ball's gone, ego's gone, hope never existed. And Noah, he ignores Isagi like a stepdad who showed up late and drunk, and instead locks eyes with Kaiser. You're the one I came for. Turns out Noah didn't fly in to teach teamwork or push the youth. He came to emotionally stimulate Kaiser like a football dominatrix. Isagi's internal monologue, "But I did everything right." Bro, nobody cares. You're the guy who shows up with notes to a bar fight. This isn't about being right, it's about being insane enough to win. And what does Kaiser do? Launches a free kick from another realm so disrespectful, it makes math illegal. You couldn't even pass high school algebra and this man just nuked Pythagorean theorem on live television. But then Loki, anime Usain Bolt on crack, casually says, "Nice try, side character," and teleports with Godspeed to block it. And Isagi? He watches the scene like a middle schooler realizing Santa isn't real. He hits an existential crisis so intense even your therapy sessions feel chill in comparison. He asks, "Am I a genius? No, I am a glorified sponge. I absorb skills the way broke people absorb free Wi-Fi. Then Ego, looking like Freud's edgier cousin, breaks it down. Genius equals trauma plus RNG plus alien chromosomes. So what does Isagi do? Instead of sobbing like you, he goes cold, drops the humanity, and upgrades into a data-driven demon with no friends and no ducks to give. Demon mode Isagi is different. He blocks Rin like he owes him child support. He disrespects Loki and Noah like they just slid into his girl's DMs. He starts tag teaming with Kaiser like it's a co-op speedrun and trauma is their only shared language. But oh, Charles and Karasu suddenly remember they're also talented learners. Congratulations NPCs, welcome to relevance. Rin, our resident eyeliner-addicted sociopath, decides his new purpose is ending Isagi's friendship with Kaiser. He stalks Isagi with 4-meter range like a horror game boss. Then he lures Kaiser in for a double KO like this is Smash Bros with a side of generational trauma. But Kaiser remembers his childhood trauma. Boom, character buff activated. And now, the human L of this episode, Ness. He's been ghosted by Kaiser harder than your last text convo. Then the ball comes to him, his big moment. And what does he do? He tries to pass to the man who's been ignoring him like a failed talking stage. Delusion is strong in this one. But then, out of nowhere, Isagi drops from the ceiling like Batman, says, "Thanks for the assist, loser," steals the goal, and leaves Ness crying in 720p. Kaiser realizes everything he believed in, freedom, power, solo glory, was garbage tier philosophy written by a teenager on Reddit. He finally understands what he needed wasn't freedom. It was limitations, pain, existential dread. Then Isagi walks up, looks him dead in the soul, and drops the hardest diss since Eminem dissed his whole bloodline. "Thanks for your hard work, my finest clown." Hear that again, slowly. That wasn't a roast. That was a surgical ego execution. Kaiser's pride didn't die. It got dismembered and tossed into the sun. You felt that line in your bones. Now we get to see the final match before they reveal who's going to the U20 team. FC Barcha versus Manshine City. The match kicks off and Nagi is like, "I beat Isagi. Where's my fire? Hello? Anyone?" Motivation.exe has stopped working. He and Rio playing okay-ish, just helping the team win. Nothing flashy, which is basically illegal in Blue Lock where if you're not dramatic, are you even real? Then Shigiri. "You know what? I'm fast." Zoom. Goal. Bachira's like, "Dribble dribble doodle do." Boom. Another goal. Otoya. "Hi, I'm here too." Bang. Another goal. 2-1. FC Barcha is leading and Manshine is crying in glitter. Then Rio and Nagi start their little bestie pass session. Lavinho comes in like, "Football ain't about passing, it's about chaos," but gets pickpocketed by Prince. Now, here's the kicker. Prince sees Nagi wide open, but he's like, "Nah, too emotionally unstable," and passes to Rio instead. Rio scores. Boom. Rio secured his spot. Seeing all these Nagi goes, Rio evolved. I'm still running on patch 1.0. I depended on him too much. So now, I'm gonna go full villain and never pass again. Nagi. "Don't pass to me, Rio. I won't pass to you. I'm a solo Q monster now." But wait. Plot twist? Just when Nagi's about to solo, Otoya's like, "Nope." And Nagi, he panics and passes to Rio again. Nagi went from, "I'm dead inside" to "I will become God" to, "Oops, never mind. Here, Rio, take the ball," in under 3 minutes. Then Bachira swoops in like the football fairy of tough love and says, "If you can't walk alone, you ain't egoist enough for this anime." Then steals the ball, scores the final goal. FC Barcha wins. 3-2. Alright now, it's time for the final rankings, baby. The under-20 team is here. Rin is number 1, again, with a casual 240 million yen contract from Real Madrid's anime cousin, Real. Isagi sees this and immediately starts. "I gave my soul, my brain cells, and 3 internal organs." And Rin still won? But wait, plot twist. Rin hits him with a, "Look up, peasant," and bam! Isagi is shared number 1. He immediately goes full Disney Channel protagonist. "I can be the best in the world." Cue internal screaming, confetti, inspirational soundtrack. Because apparently Ko-Topper is a thing now. Shiru's at number 3, Baru's number 4, Bachira's number 5, Chigiri number 6, Rio number 7, Kunigami number 8, Otoya number 9, 10th is Aiku, 11th is Karasu, 12th is Gagamaru, 13th is Ryu, 14th is Yukimiya, 15th is Nico, 16th is Hiyori, 17th is Sendo, 18th is Corona, 19th is Zantetsu, 20th is Fukaku, 21st is Raichi, 22nd is Kiora, lastly 23rd is Nanase, and then Nagi is in 24th place. Yes, the golden child, the prodigy, didn't qualify. Everyone in the stadium. Huh? Isagi is like, the genius is out. Blue Lock is like, no plot armor for you today, sweetie. And this is how the Neo Egoist League ends. But what happens next? Will Nagi make a comeback like Itachi with abs? Will Isagi evolve again and grow a third eye that sees football in 6D? Will Baru eat someone? Literally? Comment down below, like and subscribe.